Okay, I'm doing a quick video here about a short explanation as to why the shadow of the eclipse, this 2017 eclipse, is moving from the west side of the United States to the east side. So this program you see here is Blender, which is a 3D rendering program, and I have a sphere over here which represents the sun, one in the middle which represents the moon, and this last one represents the earth. And I have a line going from the sun to the earth, right by the moon here, the center sphere, to represent the rays of light coming from the sun and hitting the earth, which basically is how it's lighting it up. And the moon, as it travels along, is blocking that light, which is what's creating the eclipse. So I have this set up so that this sphere is rotating from west to east, just like the earth is. The sphere that represents the moon here is also moving from west to east, and they're both moving in relation to the stationary line, which is the sunlight. Since the sun is so far away, any light from it really isn't moving, and the earth is moving through that light, and as well as the moon. Now the earth is spinning at basically 1,000 miles an hour over its surface, because it rotates once roughly every 24 hours, and its circumference is roughly 24,000 miles. So its surface past a fixed point, like this stationary ray of light would be, or representing a ray of light. So the earth in 1 hour would move 1,000 miles past this point. So the surface, so say this dot right here is 1,000 miles between here, and 1 hour, that point would move over to this line. And the moon is moving at a faster pace. Now I don't have this exactly to scale, but it's moving roughly twice as fast along its orbit. Now its orbit is much further than the 24,000 miles of the Earth spinning on its circumference there, along its circumference. So even though this takes roughly 28 days to make it around its total path, but we don't care about the total path. All we care about is the light coming from the sun for those 3 hours that the eclipse is occurring, and this line represents that sunlight. So we care about the speed of the moon in relation to that line representing the light, and also the surface of the earth in relation to that line. And I also have a little smaller line here going to the earth, which represents the shadow of the moon. So here I've animated the rotation and movement of the moon and the earth. So if you look at the earth as this moves along, it's spinning past that line, and also the moon is going past the line, but it's going twice as fast as the earth. So in the same amount of time, the moon is moving twice as far in relation to that line, which is the sunlight that's blocking from the sun. So if you look at the little tiny line there, or look at this small line in relation how fast it moves along the surface compared to how quickly the surface moves past this line, you'll see that the shadow is actually outpacing the spin of the earth. So that means it's moving across the surface of the earth from west to east, because again, the moon is traveling at 2,000 miles an hour in relation to this line, and the earth is moving at 1,000 miles per hour in relation to this sunbeam or sun ray. So the moon is moving 1,000 miles an hour faster, so it moves along the surface and goes from west to east, and that's why it's going across the United States, or North America, from west to east. So it starts over here, and it's outpacing the spin of the earth, and therefore moves west to east. So this is just, I've seen other people try to explain it, and this is just kind of the way I figured on doing it. Hopefully this kind of clears it up and helps you understand, again, why the shadow during the eclipse is moving from west to east. Thank you.